Hello, research methods, and welcome to your walkthrough for SPSS Lab assignment number 8, the difference between means test. Now, this is comparing the means of two different groups to see whether or not they are statistically significantly different. And what SPSS and in statistics, we call this a t-test. We're going to compare parking lots to vacant lots, and then we're going to compare parking lots to playgrounds. So the first thing we need to do is find out what SPSS calls those groups. So I'm on the variable view tab here, and we can see the site type variable. Going over to values, in that cell, if I click in it, then the ellipses box appears. And here's where I can find out where SPSS calls these different groups. So parking lots is 3, vacant lots is 2, and playgrounds is 4. So keep those in mind and make note of those. Not changing anything, so I'm going to cancel out of that. Now we're going to run the t-test. And we can do that either from data view or variable view. The drop-down menus are the same. So we're going to go to Analyze, Compare Means and Proportions, Independent Samples t-test. And we're going to right-click in this box over here and say Display Variable Names. And for our testing variable, we're going to look at trash litter. So I'm going to scroll down until I find trash litter. And there it is. Highlight it and move it over to the test variables box. And then the grouping variable is going to be site type. So scrolling back up, I find site type and move that over to the grouping variable. Now I have to define the groups here. So I'm going to click on this button here. And for group 1, we're going to call that parking lots. So change this 1 to a 3. And then for group 2, it happens to default to 2, which also happens to be what we call vacant lots. So you can go ahead and leave that as is and say continue. Now be sure to uncheck this box that says estimate effect sizes. We do not want this checked. Uncheck that box and then say OK. And then your output here gives you a lot of explanation here, but we can scroll up and that's where we'll find our actual t-test results. And here we can see it's highlighted for us. This is our p-value or our significance value that we always look for, and we want it to be less than 0.05. And in all cases here, it's actually less than 0.001, which means the difference between the mean amount of trash litter in parking lots is significantly different than the mean trash litter in vacant lots. So now we want to compare parking lots and playgrounds. So we'll go back up to Analyze, Compare Means and Proportions, Independent Samples t-test. Everything's the same as we left it, but we want to change these grouping variables here. So you got to click in that box, and that brings up our Define Groups box again. So click on Define Groups. We're going to leave 1 the same as parking lots, but we're going to change group 2 to 4 for playgrounds. And say continue. And now say OK. Again, we want to scroll up a little bit so we can get the actual information here. We meet the threshold of 0.05, and so these are statistically different as well. So be sure to save this output. Go to File, Save As, and save this output somewhere where you'll be able to find it, and then go and upload it to D2L, and be sure to upload it to D2L while you're still in the virtual lab, because that's where you will have saved this output, so that in order to find it, to upload it to D2L, you need to stay in the virtual lab. And we'll see you next time.